Oh, I guess we went live. Hang on. I should say the warning. Warning. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. This is not medical advice. I'm just an idiot, bro. Don't listen to anything I have to say. Hey, I like your background, Dave. You're very
Thank
purple.
you.
Yeah.
Blue. Got our new basement all set up. So got my new little studio, my desk. It's a nice setup down here.
I need to take my trophies and medals out of the closet and hang them up somewhere.
Yeah, mine were in the garage forever, and I just finally dusted them off.
I have them half of them stuffed in a closet, half of them sitting on a shelf somewhere. I don't know. They're around. My kids will probably use them to play baseball with. Who knows?
All right.
What's up with you guys? What's new?
Not much. Just enjoying prep right now. Things still going smooth for myself, and can't really complain. Not very hungry. Training's great. Sleep's doing pretty good.
Yeah, your check-in picks look great, man. You this is the biggest week of improvement you had. You know how it is, man. It's like this last 6 weeks or so, then you start seeing it's like nothing really happens. It's just like you lose weight and you're like, damn, I don't look any better. And then it's like the last 6 weeks and you start looking better every fucking day.
Yeah.
It just starts to come together. That's just how it goes. I definitely have learned that with prep. I've been doing a lot of preps this year. Holy shit, man. I had 3 guys competing this weekend. I got 4 dudes competing this week. I mean, it's just been every week I've had guys. Really proud of my guy Nick this weekend. It's his 4th show with me, and he won the overall at his show.
Awesome.
Yeah, nice.
Smallest guy out there and won the overall.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he looked great in the photos that you put up. That was looked real good.
175 pounds on stage, and he beat everybody.
Wow.
I told him to switch to bodybuilding. I think we might have to go back to classic. So if you hear me, Nick, when we get on the national stage, but I mean, he's just a great poser, hard worker. I got to show you guys this before and after. I got to brag about him a little bit because he's just an insane worker. I just have never. The guy never fucking complains. The guy never. I mean, he just does the work. I don't know of a better way to describe it. It's just. This was when we first started working together.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
How long ago? What's the time difference between those?
2.5 years. So it's
wow.
You know, there's definitely some time in between. And then, you know, this weekend there he was on stage in the finals in the center.
Yeah, who would have known that shape was underneath all that? He's
yeah, I mean, that's why, you know, I used to kind of write people off, and I'm trying not to do that now. Like when I would first start working with people, I'd be like, man, I don't think bodybuilding's your thing. Maybe you should play basketball or take up martial arts or something, man. Like I don't know that bodybuilding is your thing, but like I would have never have looked at that starting picture and said that he would have been a really bodybuilder. I mean, he, you know, a little more size and a little more polish. I mean, he might have a chance to get a pro card in classic. So I mean,
nice.
You know, he needs to get a little bit bigger and needs to come in a little tighter. We know these things. He's been a challenge to get lean. He's had to struggle for it. But it's just one of those things, like you get leaner at each show. We've had to push and push and push and push and push, and he just shows up to work, man. Like he's just one of those guys. And I wish that was a lesson I wish I could just impart on everybody. And I know like everybody, this has been like something that's been driving me nuts with social media lately. It's just the overcomplication of bodybuilding, just like the vast overcomplication of bodybuilding. I'm not saying there isn't nuance and some complication and things that you need to consider. You need to have a good game plan. But ultimately, it's about who looks best on stage. Nobody gives a fuck when you get on stage what your IGF-1 levels are. Nobody gives a fuck when you get on stage, you know, about microdosing and this and that and what PED is better than the other. It's ultimately about hard work, consistency, dedication, staying calm, pushing through adversity, and just working your ass off at the end of the day. I do think you need to work hard. I do think you need to have a good game plan. I see guys that work hard at the wrong thing all the time. There's the shadow of Justin Harris. Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know why it's been doing that. It does when you turn it on, it always defaults to that like menu screen for some reason. Now.
You can change that. What are you using, a Sony?
Yeah, I mean, I know I turn it on and it goes to my face, and then for like when it clicks onto whatever like app I'm using, it does that until I click the button again.
Yeah, it's in the settings. You can change it. I forget where it's at, but I changed it on mine. Anyway, but yeah, we were just talking about prepping. Like it's just really like I've been prepping a lot of guys this year. Just it's like 2, 3, 4 every weekend.
Yeah, this has been a slower year for me, but I feel like last year, I don't know that there was more than 2, maybe 3 weekends from March to November. I didn't have competitors. That's what you look like you're doing this year.
Yeah, I haven't had a weekend since April where I haven't had somebody competing.
Yeah, I mean, most weekends, but it hasn't been like last year for some reason for me was every weekend.
I got 5 this week. I got 3 at North Americans and then 2 at national or at just local shows, and then I've got one guy I'm just kind of helping out with his peak. I get these guys to come to me at the last minute and help.
Yeah. Everything's gone wrong. There's no yeah. I'm not gonna make it. I look terrible. Can you fix me? How long we got? 96 hours.
There's only so much you can do in that last week, man. But
are you going to North Americans?
You know, I was going to. I booked the hotel and everything, but I just got a bunch of shit going sideways in my personal life right now.
Sorry to hear that.
Not anything directly with me, but I don't know. I feel like it would be.
I got you.
Irresponsible for me to leave my family right now. There's stuff that my family needs me for.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I have 3 in North Americans. It's first week of school, so I'm not heading out because with the Wednesday guys, you have to come out. You have to go out on Monday, really at the latest, to be any value to them while they're there. And that's first day of school, so I'll be doing drop offs and stuff.
Yeah, my plan was to come Tuesday and stay through Friday, but I need to be here for family stuff. It gets tough, you know. Sometimes like it's a tough decision because I feel like I'm letting the guys down not being there. But I don't know how you feel, man. Like I know psychologically it's good for the dudes to have the coach there, but I feel like I can do more from home.
Yeah, that's the only benefit in person. You do all prep, you do check-in. So the analogy I've used is if people wouldn't really know this, but heart ultrasounds, echocardiograms, when ultrasound technology first came out, it wasn't advanced enough to unmirror the image. You know, it sends the sound waves back, sound waves come back, and it returns as a mirrored image of whatever you're scanning. So early ultrasound machines, they just had to do that. Well, so cardiologists learned to see the heart, you know, mirrored backwards and reversed, you know, inside out and backwards. And you do that for 15, 20 years, reading 10 echoes a day, all day, every day. And then the technology came out to where the computer could unmirror it and have the heart actually the way it is in the body, and they couldn't read it. So they'd only, you know, like, because you just turn into like reading a new language. It's no longer a heart to you. It's this language. And so it's still to this day, if you get a heart ultrasound, the doctor is reading a mirrored image of your heart. And that's what I always feel like in person versus photos. You know, you do all year photo check-ins, and then for 16 weeks, you do photo check-ins. You know, I've done thousands and thousands and thousands of photo check-ins. I've only, you know, peaked a few people in person in comparison, you know? And so for me, even when I am there in person, I have them send check-in photos just because I'm so used to that. You can line up, you know, progressions. You can compare, you know, 3 days out, 2 days out, how many hours ago. And in person, you don't get that. In person, also, there's always other people in the room talking, and it's hard to really concentrate. And so even when I'm there in person, I still have them send photos.
Yeah, I get dudes that want to come up and take pictures with me and talk to me about their prep, and I'm like, and I don't want to be a dick and like blow other people off, but I'm like, I got to focus on my clients.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, it's hard to give your clients as much time in person as you can at home because of all that other stuff. It's just so busy at events.
I do like seeing them in person. I don't know. Like, I think I've gotten better at looking at the pictures, but like, I can tell what's water and what's, like I can see water retention a lot better in person.
Yeah, see, I
Whether,
feel like I'm just. It's been.
whoa,
We know who that is.
yeah, it's Jackie.
Come on,
You're
Jackie.
you're and Dave's microphones are probably too close together. If you guys are sitting next to each other, you're getting feedback.
Stop being so friendly.
Yeah, we'll fix it here. Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I do like, I've been going to a lot of shows this year. I've been to one just about every weekend. There's a lot of local ones here, but yeah, I don't know. I go back and forth on it, man. Like, I think it's also good for business to go to shows. I always pick up clients.
Yeah, it's definitely good for business. I mean, absolutely. I don't think there's, like if you have like a business that sells products, email campaigns are always your biggest converter. I think if you sell a service like we do in person at that where the service is rendered is always the best return.
Yeah, I mean, I always come out of the shows with a couple clients when I go,
sure.
but yeah, I feel guilty when I don't go.
Well, but the hard thing is like you said, you got 3 people North Americans and then 2 people somewhere else in the country, and every client wants you to be there, and so but you can't, you can't be all over the country. Yeah, so you pick where you go, and then of course you're going to pick North Americans, but then your state competitors will, they can't help but feel like they must not be as important to you as your national guys, your pros, and I don't think any coach really. I don't think any coach. I think every coach cares about every client. Any client that does bad looks bad on you as a coach. You put effort in. You're there 16 weeks with them just like they are. So that's always hard for me deciding when to go, when not to go, when you're able to go, and then when people are competing in different spots, and how do you choose which one you go to be in person?
I've had that too, where certain clients felt like I blow them off, or like I get, I know I've done this in the past where I get my guys that are like I know that are going to win,
Mm-hmm.
like the guys that are going to do really well, and I focus on them a little bit more, and like it pisses some of the other guys off, or I share them on social media. It's not like I put any more work in those people. I give everybody the same amount of
sharing
work.
is hard because I hardly do any of my social media, so I never know who's getting shared. And every once in a while, someone will kind of let me know that they're a little bummed that I didn't. I'm like, I didn't share anybody's. It's like my daughter, when she sees one that maybe she'll do it, but it's not like my thought process, and I'm not trying to show anybody.
Same thing with me. And a lot of times it's just guys tagging me and stuff. They just tag
and
me.
you just
Some guys tag me, and I just hit okay.
Yeah, people. I don't think people realize. I can't imagine what the big accounts are like, but my inbox is filled so quickly that if you tag me in something and I'm not on Instagram for 2 hours, there's no chance I'm going to see it. There's between the bots and then now owning a supplement company, all the manufacturing bots. There's 100 of those a day, and then the inquiries, the tags, the random tags of people like tagging your supplements, which you love, and you want to share those too. It just fills up so fast. I just can't even imagine like what the big accounts, how they even see any DMs.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up to, I don't know, what am I, 60,000 followers on Instagram now, and I probably get north of 100 DMs a day.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah, I just don't even look anymore.
It's impossible because what does it show, like 10 or 12 before you have to scroll, and so you're talking, if you're more than 30 minutes off IG, it's possible that the person who DM'd you 31 minutes ago is already not visible.
Yeah, I have some AI set up to sort the guys that are looking for coaching and stuff, and I have auto responses set up. But it's just got to the point where
I go back and forth with that. But I feel like I find I never get. It seems like the auto responses never convert for me.
No, they don't. But it's also, a catch-22. Like I'm just so fucking busy, man.
Yeah. What's worse, not ignoring them entirely or having an AI, bot at least let them know that something's they're noticing, and maybe they reach out a second time and you catch it in person or something.
Yeah, so folks, the lesson is if you really want to get a hold of me, take the time to email me. Those I do see.
Yeah, you have to be persistent. No coaches, I don't think any coach is ignoring you. I certainly am not, and it's not like I don't think you're good enough as a client, or I'll work with anybody, but it's just a lot of times we don't see them.
Yeah, yeah, Roman does respond.
He
to
does.
everyone.
He's quick.
Roman's a good guy.
Mhm.
Justin, are you allowed to say why John was filming for HGTV yesterday?
Uh, it's I don't know that he even really fully knows. It's weird. They just found him, reached out. They're doing like home hunting on the beach, and they're doing like Virginia Beach or something. And somehow they contacted him, and I'm sure that I'm guessing it's going to be some little. I don't want to like. I'm not even saying this in a derogatory manner or anything, but it's probably going to be like the goofy meathead. They're probably going to intertwine clips of him on the beach with his shirt off, and
I mean,
kind of
John
make
is a
like
goofy meathead.
yeah, well, it's perfect. Yeah, he doesn't have to act. So, but yeah, I would guess it's going to be like a little comic, but it's pretty cool. I mean, like what a lucky little thing. That's what stresses me about DMs, because that's how Generation Iron contacted me. I'm surprised I even saw it. Now,
Yeah,
like after I saw that, my first thought was like, oh shit, what if someone else somewhere along the line did that and I just missed it? Because
yeah, that's
yeah,
that's
and who knows? He might HGTV might have contacted one of us. I don't know. I would, who knows?
I
So
do
it's
try to
definitely tough.
scan through them at the end of the day. I just quickly scan through them, but like I just like no disrespect to anybody. I just simply do not have time to. I barely have time to respond to my fucking clients, much
I
less
know. Yeah.
some random dude that wants to chat. At this point, like I never realized the scale of social media.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think for like it's funny, like my dad will get hacked on Facebook, and he'll make a post to Mark Zuckerberg, saying Zuckerberg, you need to keep my account safe. And it's like, old people really don't grasp that the size. They're used to going to a store where they see every employee there, and I don't think, I don't think even like our generation fully grasps it. There's a billion people on there,
Yeah, there's
It's like,
billions.
yeah, it's like so it's massive. The number of
Well,
people that good.
I learned about it with my channel getting banned a couple weeks ago, Justin,
Yeah.
and like my stuff getting. I mean, I'm so small time to these guys. With my, I get 400,000 views a month on YouTube, and I'm at 40,000 subs now, and then I have 50,000 on Instagram and 7 million or so interactions a month, and even that is too small to actually talk to a real human.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't even want to give me time. Amy,
Yeah,
I'm getting a
that's
bunch
like
of
oh my
feedback
gosh,
from
like
your
Amazon.
typing.
Dealing with Amazon, because all it is there's no human ever. At some point down the line there might be, but it's just bots and stuff. And so your products get banned for some reason, and then you'll resubmit it and it'll get approved, and we'll get like our WTF will get banned for a minute, and it'll say it's a pure caffeine product, and they don't sell those, and we'll say no, it's not. You know the label, and it's like it never ends. It's just you spend hours a day just going through and resubmitting things, and if you put a capital, I can't like on our website page on Amazon, if it says like Troponin supplements all lowercase and Justin Harris lowercase, because you can't. They call it camel casing. You can't have capital J and then another capital that's not after a period. So if you have your name Justin Harris, that Harris has, and like you can't find even I can't even figure out what their definition of camel casing is. So I just do all lowercase for everything. That's the only way I can get anything approved. Looks like a
It's
kid starting
wild.
to
I knew
ban.
Amazon was difficult. I didn't know how difficult they were.
It's just arbitrary, It's just like trying things until something works, but none of them make any sense.
I've had I don't know if you kept up with the drama with my social media, but I had somebody went through and reported all of my videos, and then I had my account yanked, and then I was able to get it back, and then they went through and reported all of them for copyright infringement afterwards. And the way YouTube works, they just it's guilty until proven innocent. So I had to appeal all 480 of my videos.
When was this? Because I'm wondering. I bet you
2
the
weeks
same
ago.
person went through. Because I went through and I had about 100 videos copyrighted, all at once out of the blue. And I'm wondering if it was the same dude just had a couple more hours in his day to ruin someone else's.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, whoever I offended.
Yeah, did they have time for that? I had a guy who was commenting. He was the guy who was talking about call me Seth Rogen in every post immediately. First, when I thought it was funny, it was fine. But I guess like because I'm not on my social media, I'm on it, but like a lot of times the checking DMs, they're like doing a post will be my daughter, like and I think he found my kids or something, was like harassing them on their pages. So my wife went in and blocked him on my account. I didn't even know any of this happened. I didn't know he was blocked. I didn't know any. And then all of a sudden, this new name that's similar to his is commenting 50 times on every single Instagram post I've ever made. Just like so angry, saying how terrible a person I am. And he did that for weeks. And so my wife would block that one. It'd be another one, that very similar name. It's like good, Finally, I told her, I was like, he'll get tired eventually if you just keep blocking him. He's just do this forever. This is his job now. Is following me around and trying to ruin my posts.
Well, they after they moved on that, they moved on to Instagram. They went through and reported all my shit on Instagram, and then so I had to appeal a bunch of stuff. And then they got my Facebook page taken down. I appealed that this week. Finally got that back today. Facebook never even responded to me. I just noticed my page was back up.
Yeah, that's so weird. I mean, like, especially when you don't even know who it is. Like, if someone thinks you've wronged them, I can guarantee I wasn't intentionally an asshole and ruined. So if you think I wronged you, just talk to me and find out, and I'll be like, oh shit, I had no idea what was going on. Let me correct that for you.
Well, I've been making content lately that just like kind of pokes at things a little bit, like not individuals, but like because it does get views like I go back and forth on whether or not it's even worth it. Just like little diet and training and PED stupid things that people do, and I just kind of poke at it a little bit and shine a light on how silly things are, and I call them obvious truths or whatever, but I think those piss people off. So I don't know.
Well,
they also get you followers though.
That's the thing. It's like not personal to you. You're doing it because you have a business, and this is beneficial to your business. It's also true statements, and it's not personal. But like that's the thing. These people take it personally. It's really, I think our generation. I'm guessing all of us are kind of this way. The internet didn't really become a thing till I was in college. And even then it wasn't really, like we barely had email. It wasn't until after college that there was any social media or anything. I was I had kids before like MySpace. But so I had a whole life without the internet. So for me, the internet has always felt fake. Like that was like,
it doesn't feel real. It's fantasy land to me.
Yeah, but I think like there's a younger generation that this is their real life, and it's like it feels like they view it differently than I do. Because to me, it's like it's not real. I don't even know who you are. I've never met you. I'll never meet you. We're just two goofballs trolling each other on the internet. That's what the internet's supposed to be for. Where for them, it's their real life.
Yeah. To me, it like goes back to the message board days. That's kind of my way of looking at it, like where we would poke at each other.
Oh yeah, it was a different world. That was how those operated, And I like that because think of the last mass like public discussion on any topic in bodybuilding you had, and it was probably on a message board, and that's because that's all you did. All the threads, and there'd be now. You post, and it is how it is, and I hate it, but I don't know how to change it. You post, and so the people who comment like your post, and they're your fans, or they follow you, or they like. So it's all good things. And then if anyone ever tries to say anything against you, they all bash. It's like there's no, there's never any discussion or anything, and so it's hard not, because you're sending your thoughts out to the ether to people essentially who are always going to agree to it. It's just terrible for moving, knowledge forward in any field.
I think what really got people, I don't know, I'm just speculating. I made a thing, and I was just, it was just a commentary basically about people, like there's like this fear of working too hard now, like everybody's worried about it, which is bizarre to me that everybody's worried about overtraining and working too hard and fatigue management and all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, you work out 4 days a week for an hour. I don't think you need to worry about managing your fatigue.
I know. I always like, as someone coming from playing sports, like you go to like a football camp, you have 2-a-days, full pads, and you lift, and you do cardio, and you do films. It's like any other sport. Like gymnasts, they're doing intense stuff, like 8-9 hours a day or more, maybe. I always just think the smell test for me is grandma. That's what I always think. If you would take something to your grandma, and she would look at you like you're insane. Like if you say, "Oh, grandma, I can't lift, I can't work out too hard, or I'll lose all my muscle." Grandma would be like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, that was bizarre. But I put that post up about it, and then that got, oh my God, man! I took it down because I got so many DMs from people that thought I was personally attacked. I don't know. People took it personal. They're like, you don't know what you're talking about, you meathead.
Yeah.
You're a fucking
Yeah,
ass. I think that is what triggered somebody and they came after me is what I think happened.
I think one of the worst divides in the like meathead culture or bodybuilding world or weight training world is that there's always like there's like the science people are always against the results people, and it seems like the only reason we're here is for the results, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like if someone gets results in a way that's not the current scientific literature, it's like the science people just get really angry, and the science is always for really like niche areas like this. The science is going to be behind the bro science. It is. The bro science is going to be wrong a lot of the time, but they're the only ones doing like real trial and error. A true research study is so time consuming, lengthy, limited, then public, you know, it's going to be slower. And so the science stuff, it sucks, but it's in the end, it's always going to be truths, but it's always going to be way behind where the bro science stumbled upon the truths along the way with all their errors along the way also, but it's just how it is.
It's been interesting because I paid AJ has been doing mentorships for coaches. He's kind of getting out of coaching. He's doing mentorship for coaching. It's not cheap, but I wanted to kind of learn like what he's doing because he seems to like gets guys shredded.
Yeah, he's been
just
smart. I knew him when he was a teenager. I think he worked with Nate Wolf years ago as a teen, and you could tell he was going to be good. He just was like a sponge.
Well, he was a training partner with Jay Cutler for years.
Yeah, that's how he met Nate because they were all in Vegas. Nate trained with Jay for a couple of years, and then Nate moved back to Michigan, and AJ moved out there for bodybuilding. As like a 17 or 18-year-old, his mom moved him out to Vegas to be closer to the like the scene of bodybuilding. That's how early on obsessed he was.
I lean more on the science side of things, but what's been wild with AJ, he's like prep Rain Man. He's just like it's been because it's definitely has helped me improve my results. But he just is like always like, what do you see in the pictures? What do you see in the pictures? What are the pictures telling you? And then that's how you adjust. And like there's like no set approach for anything. It's just like let how they're progressing and what the pictures look like dictate what you do next.
I like that. I need to word it better than that because I'm always trying to, when people get so wrapped up with weight, and scale weight, especially in prep when it's going to vary, especially when you're lean, when you only got 10 pounds of fat on your body, but you have enough muscle mass that you can vary in 10 pounds of water weight in a day. Yeah. Scale means nothing, but people still get wrapped up with it. I always try to say you judge how you look on stage. Stick to the photos.
Yeah, I mean it's ultimately like I was just saying before you got on, the judges don't care about your IGF-1 levels. They don't care about your injection schedule. They don't care about how much cardio you did, what you ate. It's what you look like on stage. And then like AJ is all about the look. Like that's definitely what I have learned from him. Let the look drive where you're going. And I tried to quantify it, and it's just how my brain works. I'm a computer scientist by trade. My brain wants to quantify everything. And it is a subjective sport. I think it is good to have metrics, and you can kind of line some of those metrics up with where the look is progressing. But that's been the big thing I think I've evolved this year, and I think my results have been better with my guys. I've been getting guys shredded this year.
Yeah, things like the scale. I mean, they're good secondary metrics. If someone looks flat and their weight is down, they're flat. If someone looks flat, and their like weight is up, then you got to be like, well, what's going on here? Why is there water not in the muscle? Why is it under the skin? Or so there's always like secondary things you get from the other, the scale.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's always like if the photos tell you what you need to see, you almost don't want to look at the weight because it might influence you. But if the photos are what you need, what you were looking for, then that's what you got. If you look at the photos, it's like, shit, this isn't what we needed. What's the weight? Does that tell anything? Does that add anything to the story? What is, how do their weight go? How are their energy levels? Then those things. But yeah, I like the pick approach too. I like that.
You should do some mentorships, Justin.
I've been saying forever I was going to. It's just too hard.
I would pay you.
Time. It's just you're just always like right at the time, limit of time where
I don't know. I don't know how AJ does it. Like I send him a text and he responds right away. Like always.
Yeah, just work or just a grinder.
Yeah, he's just probably just working 24/7. Like it doesn't matter when I text him, he responds.
Nice.
He's on top of it. But yeah,
I mean, also too, I mean, you guys would be a good collab. I mean, you're a very good person for him to be able to have in that program. You know, it really adds credibility to it. So I can see why he'd want to, you know, treat you nice, treat you well.
yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not like that with everyone. I'm just saying, you know,
well, he's a hard worker.
yeah,
I
for
know,
sure.
I
Oh
know
yeah,
that.
that's what I
And,
said. I mean, his mom moved him to Vegas to be near Jay Cutler when he was like 17 or 18. So this dude's wanted this his whole life.
yeah, and it's just it's really interesting because he's like, there's definitely like some stuff that I wasn't looking at in pictures. I've definitely have gotten a lot better at looking at check-in pictures and noticing things like how people are holding water and, you know, crispness, if I can say it, and, you know, manipulating water at the end. Like I wasn't very good at that before. Like I think that's gotten a lot better this year. You can be fat free and carved up and still hold water and look like shit on stage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting change. It's like not what I was expecting, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but as far as
I've seen a couple of his like protocols, but I've always he's someone I've always thought was a very good bodybuilding coach. As far as getting guys ready for the stage, he's always been really good.
well, what I can tell you, he doesn't do the same thing with anybody. It's different for every fucking person. He just like kind of has an intuition of what works and what I think from what I've heard, Chris Aceto is like that.
Chris is like by the day, take T3 today, and then tomorrow no T3 today, and then the next day, you know, 50 micrograms of T3.
That's the way AJ is too.
Yeah,
he's constantly changing shit. I like having my spreadsheet mapped out. That drives me nuts. But
yeah, with something like that, for me, the effects are the response time to using it is slower than a 24-hour period, in my opinion. So something like that, it's hard for me to see, you know, because if I give you T3 today, it doesn't mean I'm going to know what the T3 did and will continue to do by tomorrow morning to know whether to pull it or not. So that one's tough for me. But a lot of the stuff, I do like the fine tuning. I think sometimes there's things some of the guys fine tune that aren't fine tunable, but.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some stuff that's that, you know, unnecessary. I do try to keep things. I'm a minimalist. I try to eliminate like periphery things that don't really matter a whole lot. There's definitely a lot of that going on in bodybuilding right now, where guys majoring in the minors and getting hyper focused on minutia that doesn't really contribute a whole lot. Like you said, it ultimately is the look, and like if you're like hyper focused on injection timing and you know, having your blood work in a certain range and yada yada yada, like all the stuff that a lot of people are doing now, like it just, I think sometimes it just adds extra stress that may even make things worse.
Yeah, and so many of those are like cyclical and phasic and arbitrary, and because you know, you can tell me what someone's E2 levels they're trying to have in the off season. I can almost tell you roughly what year that was, you know, because it goes in. You know, there was a period where everyone wanted low estrogen, like early mid 2000s, and then everyone for a minute thought high estrogen was good. I remember when like Cinevex was out and stuff, you know, and then it just cycles all around. And now you want like. Now people want a little bit of estrogen in the off season, and some people want it rock bottom. It's just, you know, it's always like what like the ebb and flow of the culture is, and then people lock in on those and think that's the end all be all, and it's like in you know, in 2 years you're gonna have a whole different thing you're obsessed about. But
well, I look at it like playing guitar, man. Like it's wild with a guitar amplifier. You got 4 knobs for, you know, for you know, adjusting your tone, and you can create a completely different shape to the sound. And I look at bodybuilding like that way. We have a few knobs we can turn to get, and I look at those knobs in perspective of what the look is, you know. So if we need you turn this knob a little bit more and turn that one down, we can, you know, we have food, we have drugs, we have training. I mean, those
but then your clients stressing about the what strength
water
the
retention
lighting of the room was, you know, or
I
got my room setting to 5600K, but you know, should it be 4800K? I heard that's better lighting when you play the guitar.
you know, shit that's just completely irrelevant. So I just try to focus on the big knobs, and then you know, look, I mean, like if you're completely dialed in, you know, there are micro adjustments you can make that, but like I think I heard you say it before. Like, what do you say? Worry about the 95%.
Yeah, that's what this sport is. It's it's a long term deal, and so the person who does 90% of the things right 100% of the time is always going to win. Is going to be
Yeah,
better
that's
than
what
the
you
person
said.
obsessed with doing 100% perfect, but they're only able to do it 90% of the time because it's just too much.
Yeah, it's just building that consistency. You know, the more consistent you can get somebody within a prep scenario, the easier it is for you to do your job.
Yeah,
You know,
robots would make the best bodybuilders for sure.
sure.
I mean,
You know,
also,
it's a little natural
Okay.
for people, a little natural for people to look, you know, over time for different shortcuts all the time.
Mhm.
You know, that's just kind of what you're seeing. It's just, you know, years ago, it's chasing a certain estrogen level, or it's a new drug, or it's a new peptide. At the end of the day, we all circle back around to the basics are the basics, and consistency is the biggest tool you have.
Yeah, I mean, mint is just popped in my head. You know, there was like a period of time where mint had never been, it wasn't even invented, and then there's like a 5 year stretch where that was like the greatest compound ever invented, and I don't really hear much from it anymore.
no,
DHB, I don't hear that much about anymore either, and that was another one that went through a little period like that.
kind of,
I remember when
kind of had a
Thermobound was
look.
useless. I remember when EQ was useless. I remember when EQ was only good for endurance. I remember when EQ was only good for appetite.
Yeah. DHB kind of had a little comeback this year with the shortage of Masteron and Primobolan, but
Yeah, I wonder how much
I'm
of that is driven by the China stuff with making Primo and Master on harder to find.
oh yeah, it's all has to do with that. I try to deter people from DHB because I do a ton of consult calls and I have seen some crazy
Oh,
fucked up blood work from
oh
DHB.
yeah, that stuff is nasty.
Like
What
I'm
I
talking
always
about like
encourage-
ALT and AST in the thousands.
Yeah, 700, 800, yeah, same. It's crazy. That stuff is nasty. You ever tried? I don't know how people take it. I was nauseous. I felt like I was dying. I mean, I tried it. I can't remember. Maybe before COVID, around COVID, and I remember I didn't even like. I felt like I'm gonna throw up during the workout. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah, I never bothered. I never thought I couldn't get anything from it that I couldn't from Primo or Masteron, to be honest.
And I think this is another thing that people forget with the PEDs. Like, if you make yourself sick, that's going to affect your look. Like,
Yeah.
if you're ill, you're not going to look good. Your
Yeah.
training's not going to be good. You're not going to be able to, if you're, I mean, you can't feel good if your ALT and AST are that elevated.
No, you're not going to be dry either. I mean, the liver does play a role in water retention. You know, if your liver is
Yeah.
truly fucked, good luck getting bone dry.
Yeah.
I mean, lipid metabolism, glucose metabolism, fucking everything. is
Yeah,
thrown
you
off
want to
with the
go.
lip.
Yeah, you got to go hypo during your cardio. Yeah, good. You know, anytime your liver needs to release some liver glycogen to keep blood sugar levels stable, if your liver is fucked, it's not gonna be able to keep up with it. You're gonna have blood sugar is gonna be going all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see it all. Yeah, bile production. That's another one for digestion. You'll
Yeah.
see it when guys smash orals at the end. I usually have to take ox bile. I really have gotten to the point now where with contest prep, I only last year I only ran orals for the last 2 weeks.
It's
And
like
I think
high dose winning at the end or something.
yeah, I just ran the high dose winning the last 2 weeks, and I think that kept me fresh. I mean, I was pretty fresh up until the end. It's just like once you throw the orals in, it's just like a slow decline.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm the same. I've never really been a big fan of orals. They have a purpose. There's value in them, especially late in prep in certain orals, and occasionally and more in like strength sports. I think they have value, but for bodybuilding, just never been a fan of orals. They're fun when you're young because you blow it up real quick. But other than that, I don't know that they do anything injectables can't do better. And better in the fact that you're not going to be bloated, you're not going to be water, you're going to be less sluggish, your appetite's going to be better, all the peripheral things.
Well, main thing with me now, even like I've gotten to the point where even like Anavar gives me acid reflux.
Yeah.
Like they all fuck my digestion up. Yeah, I mean it's like doing Jaeger bombs. That was cool when I was 25.
Yeah.
D-ball was cool when I was 25 too. It's not anymore. I'll use orals in spot duty here and there. Like if I got towards the end of a blast and just need a little more push, maybe like some Anavar pre-workout or
well, that's the thing.
An A bomb or something.
Yeah, I mean they work. It's the secondary stuff. It's not like Anadrol's great, but if Anadrol makes you bloated and kills your appetite and lethargic, it's not great. If you take it and you don't get those things, hell yeah. That's what another thing I always encourage like guys early on in A bonds for Project Super Heavyweight. I don't remember if I did. I was on a lot of stuff though. I can tell you that much.
I don't think you denied that, did you?
No, I was. It was hard to get stuff back then, so I was probably just taking as much as I could get.
Dude, I remember that, man. It was like people talk about cycles. They don't realize like the free and open access they have to shit now. Like back in the early 2000s, it was whatever the guy had in his gym bag.
Yeah, you weren't selecting your cycles. The cycles were selecting you. It was what was available. It was not like it is now.
No, and half the time, like I remember, it was like nobody had testosterone back in the late 90s. It was just Deca and D-ball. That was like all, or Anadrol. That was all you could find half the time.
Yep. Yeah, or the test would be like ampules. Like what was that?
The Testaviron.
Yeah, Testaviron.
Yeah, the bear.
Yeah, take you like 3 hours to do your injections.
Yeah, I remember that stuff. What was it? I think it was 100 milligrams, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was like and with like 25 milligrams of Proviron or something. So if you even took you could really quickly get up to a ton of Proviron if you were trying to do an actual test dose with it.
It made the boners good though.
Yeah, oh yeah. I stuck it on your belt. I had to tape it to my leg. Go about my day.
Sex drive was great on that shit. I remember I had hundreds of those at one point when I was in the early 2000s, and they were, man, those things were fucking strong.
Yeah. They were real pharmaceutical stuff. I mean, the one nice thing back then is you got a lot more stuff actually produced, not shipped over to America as powder and then produced. It was produced actually by a company.
Oh yeah, it was all pharmaceutical. I had the Deca amps. I remember those, and then the British Dragon D-balls.
Oh yeah. Typings.
Yeah, the Typings. I remember those. Those were great. The blue Anadrols.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The Anapolins, I think they were.
Anapolins. Yeah. And you remember the paper
Papervar?
Yeah, it was spraying on paper, and then you just dissolve it like acid, put it on your tongue.
Papervar. Did it even work? I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't.
And then how are you going to trust it? They just draw squares on a piece of paper and then spray the powder liquefied. I mean, do the edge squares are they evenly dosed?
I mean, in my head it worked.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Roman.
Roman, you didn't answer my DM.
I did. What? Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. You always respond to DMs. You're good. You're quick to respond.
Yes, I do. Is my camera set up correctly?
No.
Or sideways. There you go.
There you go.
Oh, too far.
Like this?
There you go.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
go like that. Yeah.
You got to unlock the screen lock. Yeah.
What are you eating, Roman? Are those gummies?
Yes.
Do you have them segregated by color?
Yeah, it's got those Haribo berries.
We don't have those in the U.S., do we?
They're
Haribo?
so good.
Haribo smell like armpit. Haribos are awesome, but you get a bag every once in a while. Something's not right with the smell on those. If anyone else has ever caught one of those bags, let me know.
They've started to ferment and turn into alcohol.
Something. Well, for real, that's
Turned
true.
into
And I was
hooch.
like, what the hell? This smells like somebody's armpit. Well, this is terrible. And then I went online and searched, and apparently it's a common thing. There's like you get the Lucky Haribo bag, the armpit bag.
I don't think I've seen those before.
They're so
Yeah.
good. They have like little crunchies on the outside of them, so they're like chewy in the middle but crunchy on the outside.
Oh, man, they must be like a European thing. I'm looking on here. They're $30 here in the U.S. for a bag of them.
You can get them at the World Market.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think there's
Yep.
a knockoff brand. I think there's some knockoff brand that has them that looks like actual fruit.
Caribou.
I'll have to try those. Oh, here we go. I found some on Amazon. I'll have to add that to my candy routine. Those are great.
Oh, Mike found them in France.
Oh, Amy sent me the Apple Jacks.
Yes, I did. The biggest boxes I could find. I didn't know they made what's called a giant box of cereal, so I found like giant boxes. I got 3 huge boxes of Apple Jacks and sent them.
Yeah, Walmart, you can get them. They've got the super or Costco. You can get them.
Like dog bags.
it's like looks like a case.
Yeah, they were
I used
big.
to get, I used to do Frosted Flakes on my high days.
Oh yeah.
I haven't done a high day in forever. I saw my coaching just renewed with you, Justin. I need to do a check-in at some point.
No, I didn't even know it did renew. Yeah, yeah. I didn't even realize. I'll check out.
All right. I haven't. Fuck, I haven't done anything. I've been so. I only worked out twice this week. It's been depressing with recovering from the shoulder surgery because I can't really do a whole lot. Although the doctor told me I've been lifting some, but the doctor told me 6 more weeks and then I can go back to start tapering back into full activity. But I'm going to try to do either the Chicago or the Tampa Pro next year, I think.
Oh yeah.
And then wait till Japan. We're going to Japan. You and I.
Is that the plan?
Yes, Paul. We're going to Japan.
That'd be sweet.
That's the plan. Man, speaking of Japan, there was a lot of controversy with the Masters Olympia. Everybody's been ripping the judging over there. I don't know what happened. I know what was his name, Phil Klahar. He was very upset about his placing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think there was a huge point swing from prejudging the finals that he was upset about. I don't know the whole story, but I think
that happens.
Well, I don't know what. I don't know
points.
if there was something because Brandon Curry was supposed to do it. We were supposed to fly out there with Generation Iron and film one last little segment with Brandon doing it, but he didn't really say. But he said he pulled out, and there was something with the promoters. They couldn't agree to some terms or something. So I don't know if I don't know if it was just he wanted guaranteed income or not, or if he felt it wasn't run well. But I know there's something didn't seem right with it, the whole setup.
Well, I don't know how the
Say
judging
that.
was.
I don't know what I'm talking. I shouldn't really say. I don't want to throw Brandon on the bus. I don't know. He was originally going to do it, but decided against it for some reason. So I wondered if there's.
I just want a trip to Japan. I don't care if I
wanted him to do it.
Well, I'd have to qualify first, but if I get 25th place, I don't care. I just want to go eat some sushi and do some bodybuilding. I will say this: the lighting was horrible, so I don't know how they could judge anything. The lighting was just horrendous. It's wild to me how shows don't get lighting right. It's just the show I did yesterday with my clients. The lighting was fucking terrible. I'm like, I couldn't tell anything. They were just using the hotel lights. I'm like, this is terrible.
Ugh.
Roman, you're looking pretty good. Are you got a show coming up or whatnot?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, what's your plans?
In 10 weeks, there's a show in Poland. Then there's a show on November 1st is Poland. November 8th is Romania. November 24th is Japan. And November 30th is Spain.
Wow.
Nice.
But there is a show in Germany in 3 weeks.
Mhm.
And I started dieting last week, so I might just be able to make it.
Going up against Urs. Isn't Urs doing that show? Is that his first bodybuilding show? Is going to be the Germany show?
I think so.
No, it's going to be a second because there's one a week earlier in Italy.
Italy.
Yeah.
Italy. That's right. Italy.
I think Quentin's doing that show too.
Yeah. Yeah, and Sergio as well.
It looks like Quentin got his diet together. I saw him post some pictures. He's finally looking lean. I mean, he's got a crazy physique. I mean, he looks like he looks like Samson.
I tell you one thing. If Quentin gets it together, sometime in the future, we can all pack in. Everyone is fucked. If Quentin puts it together like Ronnie, we can all go for second.
Yeah, I mean, he's got crazy genetics. When I saw him down at Tampa, he just wasn't in shape. I saw him outside taking his check-in photos. I don't know who he was sending them to or whatever, but he didn't I was like, ooh. But he plays, just his size alone was in shape alone was enough for him to place high. He just dominated. You know, he beat guys that were in better shape than he was. But it looks like I think he's over there training with Samson right now in England. But he's looking good. Like he posted some check-in pics up and today. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, he's got
Yeah.
quite a unique look to him. I think you're right, Roman. If he really puts it together and gets the next step, he's going to be a top 5 guy for a long time.
Now he's gonna be a top 1 or 2 guy.
Yeah.
There's no body part he doesn't have. Everything looks bulgy. Like even his calves are monstrous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was yesterday. He posted. These were a few days, 5 days apart. I think. I don't know which is which, but said he's still coaching himself.
Yeah, muscle
Yeah, look at-
bellies are so round.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And the other thing that's crazy is it looks like he has a lot of room to improve too. He just kind of has a look. You can tell he's not maxed out at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He's got a tiny waist. I mean, he's just like his shape is perfect. He just needs to be in condition. That's it. I mean, that's what a beautiful physique. He seems like a nice guy too. Man, yeah, he definitely looks way better than he did at the Tampa. I mean, these photos are kind of blurry, but
Yeah, I never really noticed his calves so much before. He does have big calves.
yeah, he's
Right.
got huge calves. I mean, just everything. Like that's like, I couldn't, like, as far as structure goes, I don't think I could nitpick anything.
No, maybe quad sweep or quad shape.
Yeah, they're
Maybe,
weird.
but a lot of
at the
that'll kind of change as he progresses, and
top. Yeah,
that size.
I don't know. I mean, that's damn near perfect, I would say.
Tiny waist. Yeah,
Uh,
there's no every muscle's full. I mean, look at his arms. I mean, nothing's flat, nothing's short.
He's probably one of those guys that can diet himself into oblivion and still be full.
Yeah.
There's occasionally you run into those dudes. It's like Jesus Christ. How do you do this? Like, what? I mean, it's like all the stories about Samson dieting on. I don't know if I believe him or not, but dieting on 1,500 calories. I have a hard time believing that. Roman's laughing.
That's what Brad Davis was like. If you guys remember him, an old 212 pro, that dude never got super fat, but he just had to starve. It was like his body, and he would never get flat. But I remember he'd do like crazy low carbs, low calories.
I mean, sometimes you do what you got to do.
I started dieting last week, man.
How's it feel to be dieting?
I started dieting last week. I dropped 20 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
Holy shit, man! 20 pounds.
Jesus.
What are your
I did.
macros at right now?
I have a high day today. I'm doing 1,400 carbs. I did one on Thursday. I did one of my fasting days where I only had one meal before bed. So that was only 150 carbs. That cost me. But and then I did 3 days of 800 and 1 day of 400.
And that dropped 20 pounds.
Yes. and 3 inches on my waist.
That's crazy, man. Your metabolism is
Oh, wow.
something else.
Yeah.
I dropped 3 inches on my waist. It's incredible.
You ever seen anyone with a metabolism like that, Justin?
No. I mean, I think he's as high as I can't even think of anyone. I've had some high metabolism people, but no, I'm not losing 20 pounds while still eating 1,400 grams of carbs at some point in the week.
Yeah, that's. I mean, what do you do there? Have a high carb day like every 4th or 5th day?
I just did one today. I'm doing one today, and I had my last high day on last Sunday. So and then I did one week now.
Yeah, you probably almost have to. I mean, it's not it's not even just as simple as just eating more, because when you have metabolism like that, it'll kind of grow with the food intake, and you can almost get like a runaway metabolism where it's like the more you eat, the more you burn, and there's only so much you can eat, and eventually you just run into a wall. You can't eat anymore, but you're still burning more than that.
That's kind of
Yeah.
what happens to me.
Yeah,
Like right now, man.
your first prep was bad. Yeah, just completely ran away. It's like a diesel when the turbo starts sucking in the air, or even whether or not there's fuel going in, and then so that sucks the fuel in and then just runs away. You can't shut it off.
It's wild that it happens on prep. I got a guy I'm prepping right now, my client Reese in England, and I just keep putting food in, and he just keeps losing weight.
Is it late in prep or early in prep?
Late. It's
Yeah,
we're like
that's the
towards
worst,
end.
because then there's like you can't really do too much because you're time constrained.
Yeah, and then the water retention from the carbs too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's always a worry too. At the end, in that situation, you almost have to throw some trash food in, like Roman does, like
Yeah.
get some McDonald's or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I did the 15 shows in 2022 and 23,
Yes,
the first show I carved up okay, like one day I didn't count, I just ate a bunch of junk food. Then the second show I carved up more, and by the last 3 shows I had to carve up 3 days out and do 2,500 carbs a day.
It's hard to even get down. How do you even
So
put that
if
down?
the show was Saturday, I did Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, total of 7,500 carbs,
It's insane.
and then I still had the McDonald's in the morning for breakfast.
Wow.
You know what I should have done? Because I did the McDonald's in every country. I should have brought my camera and vlogged all the different McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that would have been good content.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that this time,
Yeah, definitely.
because I'm telling you, the Japan McDonald's is way different than the France and the US McDonald's. And yeah,
I wonder. I've never looked. I wonder what if they have. Does McDonald's source meat local, like fairly locally, like nationally, or do they have a global distribution that they ship meat out of? I would bet different countries have different quality meat on that.
I think
in Germany, they advertise that they only use local farmers,
Interesting. It's probably good.
and it
Yeah.
it is way different than in the US. First
Yeah,
of
the
all,
U.S. is like 30% sawdust, I think.
we have the soy burgers here.
Yeah,
it's way saltier in the US,
yeah,
and
I can see that.
yeah, in Germany, it feels like it has more substance to it, and more flavor and moisture. In the US, the patties are definitely smaller and not as good overall.
Made of partly wheat germ.
Mhm.
I remember all that controversy back in the 90s before soy became a thing, with McDonald's having soy in the burgers. Everybody
Yeah.
was like, talking about it like it was some trash thing, and then people started deliberately putting plant stuff in burgers. I don't know what the composition of their burgers are in the US now.
Geez, I haven't had fast food in years.
I know they've been slow lately.
Not my thing. If I had to pick something though, it would be, I could totally go for Wendy's over McDonald's.
They're
Big
all
fan.
good. I can never eat it because I got the glutens.
Wow, that's no fun. Somebody said in India they have a vegetarian burger that's a potato burger called a Mickaloo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's if I'm eating a burger, I probably don't want a potato. I mean, Potatoes in general, I'm always amazed. I mean, I eat potatoes, but I'm just every once in a while I'm kind of just think about it. I'm shocked that they're part of our regular because they just taste like ground. Unless you put them, unless you fry them, I just feel like I'm just eating like ground. It tastes like like earth. This is not
Yeah.
a good flavor. I mean, I eat them, but really, every time I'm like, man, there's so much better foods in this. It just tastes like I'm just eating a root.
It is a root. Is it a root?
I don't know.
Tuber.
It tastes like it.
It's a tuber. Yeah.
I'm looking at McDonald's website. They claim that their burgers here have no fillers or additives. I don't know if I believe that shit.
I'm thinking that's false.
There's a picture right next to that with a guy going.
We for sure do not put fillers in our burgers.
100% beef patty seasoned with salt and pepper only.
Yeah, they use a
Okay.
brand. They use a brand of wheat germ called 100% beef.
USD 100% pure USDA beef. No
You
extender.
ever, one thing we are spoiled with the U.S. is quality of red meat. Have you ever been
Yeah.
like you go to Mexico or something? Like here, prime is as low as you get. Really, you go to a good steakhouse, and you're getting really good cuts of meat. We were in Mexico in Bucerias by Puerto Vallarta, and there was meats or something. It was like a big. Everyone was talking about it. This great, steakhouse. All they do is meat, and they had like one prime option. Everything else was lower than prime, which I don't know if you can sell in America. And I was just shocked, and it tasted like really low quality meat. I was really made me realize how good we have it here when we go to steakhouse.
It's even different throughout the U.S. You go down to Texas. Oh my God, man! The steaks down in Texas are crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and they're
Oh man,
cheaper.
a good steak is a different world too. If you get like a really properly cooked steak from a really high quality meat, it's just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had Wagyu for the first time this year, man. Holy shit! I don't know how I made it that far in my life without Wagyu. It makes you want to get a second job just to eat
Oh
Wagyu.
man, yeah. You don't even have to chew it. It's just like close your mouth and it dissolves.
Yeah. Oh my God, stuff's so great. All right, we want to get some questions. I'm sure
We
we'll
have
get
a
some anxious people want to ask questions.
Good, because
Yeah,
this is
we have
going to get me hungry with all this food talk.
Oh, that's perfect, Dave, because the first question's for you. What's your estimated stage weight?
Oh, geez. I'd just be guessing at this point, but I mean, I'd imagine anywhere from like 205 to 212 if I had to guess.
Yeah, that's where I would put you.
Yeah, so like 2 years ago, my stage weight was 191. Then last year we got up to like 204 and then 206 for the second show. And I haven't really. I'm pretty light right now, so I'm kind of thinking actually close to the same stage weight, maybe a little bit bigger. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell with how much you carb up,
It's funny with people. You'll see it, Justin. I got my guy that's getting ready to compete in North Americans this week, and he's pretty much been the same weight the last 3 years I've had him compete, but his physique looks completely different. He looks like a pro now.
That's what I was going to say to Dave. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, rather than what's your estimated stage weight, what's your estimated stage look? Because that's really, and will you what? But that's the hard part with the sport is because you kind of have what if you get to 205 and you realize that 199 would be a better look? That's where the scale messes with people.
Yeah.
If I just told you you're going to have the best look possible, you're not going to say, well, what will I weigh? You say, yeah, hell yeah, give me the best look possible. But then when you get down there and you kind of have a range in your mind of 205 to 210 and you're already at 203 and someone says you look better leaner, even if you know it's true, your brain starts saying, oh man, I thought 205 would be the lowest that would be. That's why I hate the scale in prep.
Yeah, I can get you in trouble.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where it was kind of like last year. Paul and I talked and we're like, do we want to push into the light heavies since we're pretty close? And I think we both realized it wouldn't have been my best look.
No, you looked worse
Yeah.
when your weight went down.
I mean, I performed well in the heavyweights as probably the smallest heavyweight on stage at both shows. So I was kind of happy with it. So
Yeah, no, you looked, you what were you, second, I think?
on the second show, the New England Championship, I got second, and I was definitely the smallest heavyweight,
Yeah.
Everybody
So
was,
it just goes to show you it doesn't matter.
yeah, the kid that won and the kid that was behind me, they were out back literally trying to like dry heave up just to make weight,
Oh,
at
man.
225. So,
Hmm.
yeah. So I'd say, I don't know, if I was 205 to 208, I guess I'd be happy, but I really don't care. I know I'm going to look totally different than last year. My upper body came along quite a bit.
Yeah, your upper body's filled out quite a bit. You're definitely a lot bigger.
Yeah, my quads have grown a little bit, but those are lagging. I think this year I got to take a look at how I train them a little bit differently, because I do kind of limit myself with my lower back issues I've had over the years. So I kind of just got to do my own training in my own way.
I think your legs will come up with getting away from all the physical labor work that you were doing too. I think you have a full off season with no more physical, because you got rid of your job. I mean, now that you're not, and I'm going to talk you into doing less cardio too.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to be a hard one. You're going to have to really work to talk him into that.
Dave is the weirdo. He does a shit ton of cardio. He just likes doing
man.
cardio.
That was good. I only did a half hour each day this week. Like, yeah.
But Dave is like doing an hour in the off season.
Yeah.
What
I
kind
don't know,
of
it's my
cardio?
mental, it's my mental like meditation time. 4 a.m, no one's awake.
What'd you say, Roman?
What kind of cardio?
I just do an incline walk. Incline treadmill.
So
Yeah.
do flat treadmill.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, I don't like try to like progress my cardio each session. I literally just let my body kind of take me as far as I can. If I'm really tired, my legs are stiff, my back's hurting, it's going to be less of an intense session than if I was feeling fresh. So, yeah, I don't go too crazy. I mean, I barely do 3 miles an hour at like a 3 to 5 incline is usually kind of my sweet spot.
If I show you guys my step count, you'll be horrified. Like, I think you almost have to try to keep it this low, but I don't know if you can see this.
Oh man, I know. Yeah, mine's bad some days. I was joking one day. My wife went out and she came back, and I got up to walk somewhere. She's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm trying to work on my step count." She's like, "What are you at?" I said, 600. Because I walked right from the bedroom to the office and then moved all day.
Wednesday it was 1800. I think that's just
Oh
like
my
walking
God,
to the
yeah.
refrigerator and back.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're like a prisoner.
you must have peed in a couple of those times, because even walking to the bathroom's more than that.
Oh man, and somehow I still have abs, and I'm 240. I was 247 this morning, 248.
Yeah, put the size back on. All right.
I added a little primo back in 2 weeks ago. I just been running 200 tests for pretty much all year. It's all been 200 tests and a couple of units of GH. I upped the GH to 5 or 6 units, and I went to 300 tests, 200 primo 2 weeks ago, and I put on 12 pounds in like a week.
One thing, it's a big entry fee, I guess. But if someone's been on TRT essentially since COVID, except for a few short periods, if you've been on TRT for a period of time and you go back to even a mild cycle, it's wild how quickly it happens when you know what to do. Because the first time you do your first cycle, you're just clueless. But it's like every time it's like the first cycle all over again. I did it before, like the Olympia and the Arnold, just like the 4 weeks, and you just kind of do what you just did, and it's so fun. It's like you feel like you're changing every day.
And I'm not even really lifting. That's the funny part. I mean, I'm lifting, but it's very light, like because of the constraints from my shoulder surgery. Although I'm kind of like, fuck the doctor. I'm just going to go ahead and go at it. I mean, it's been 4.5 months.
Well, they are. I mean, I'm not going to speak as a doctor on this, and I'm not a physical therapist, but I mean, the guidelines are really kind of tend to lean towards the elderly patient for most joint type, because that's typically who gets. So, they have to give you a therapy protocol that an 80-year-old woman would be able to do, and that's they don't vary that much from that. And so I think if you work with like a PT who works with like athletes, they're usually quite a bit more aggressive in the recovery process.
Well, he told me he just didn't feel confident in the graft until it had been 6 months. That's what he told me. And like he knows about the PEDs and the growth hormone. He's like, I still wouldn't bet my reputation on it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't, because if he tells you that and you hurt yourself again, you can sue him. So yeah, I mean, he has to do that.
Yeah, he told me it's 6 months I could start ramping up, but it'll be 6 months in October. It's not that far away.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've just been kind of like putting a little, like I just started like actually stopped using bands and actually using real weights. in the last 2 weeks, but I'm only using like 30 pounds. It's crazy getting a pump from using 30 pounds.
Yeah. I really think
Yeah.
listening to some of the talks you've had with Dr. Marv, if you really find a routine of warm up and stretch that works for you, which sounds
Yeah, I know. I've really been working on like
Make a big
rotator cuff strength. I
yeah,
didn't realize how fucking weak my rotator cuffs were
yeah,
until like I've been doing all this rotator cuff work. I've been doing a lot of band work that's humbling me. It's crazy.
yeah,
Trying to strengthen my rotator cuffs. The PT definitely pointed that out. Like I was kind of poking fun at her. I'm like, this shit sucks, man. This is like baby work. I don't even want to do it. Just do the rehab work and I can work out on my own. She's like, all right, I'll show you. And she put the screws to me after that. All right, what do we got next? Josh says so steroids work. Yes, they do work. They work very well. And despite what you hear, Primobolan works too. Works quite well.
All right, from Mr. Smooth Operator, if I reconstitute with saline instead of backwater, will I die? I did my TERS, been using it for 4 weeks, no symptoms yet. I don't know if that means he has no negative side effects like death, but I would not use anything you reconstitute with normal saline past 30 days just because of the risk of bacteria growth.
exactly.
What's
Up
the
to 30
timeline? Because
days.
we're all going to die. So
Right.
give me the timeline on the death. Yes, you will die, but hopefully not for a long time.
I would be concerned about risk of infection, but I mean, you work in surgery. That you
Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
if it's
when you say saline,
single-
it's saline in a bag, fully
Sterile saline.
sterile. Yeah.
Right. Like if you're using just like normal saline, like normal sterile saline, and you're the only person using it and you're not using it every single day, if you're doing like a 1 a week injection, I would say 30 days would be the maximum I would keep that. At most, I mean, we obviously wouldn't do that in a medical setting. We'd throw it away the same day, but
Yeah, I wouldn't
I've
be
always
storing it in saline. If, like you say, you do a one time fill up one bottle, use that bottle that night, you should be fine. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't be storing
I would be especially like if you're doing sub Q injections, maybe not too bad, but I would be especially cautious with IM injections. I've seen a lot of dudes end up with some abscesses from water-based IM injections.
Well, water is just
Yeah.
a very good. Bacteria loves water. Go to any standing pond and drink the water and see how you feel. You know, it kind of. I mean, you can put some salt water in a cup and put it in your fridge even and drink it in 30 days. If you're going to probably have to squish around some bacteria like chunks in there, but you're not going to want to drink it. So just if you view it that way, that's what you're doing. You leave water out, it goes bad pretty quick. It's sealed. Yes, the salt provides some benefit against bacteria, but it's still not going to be like bacteriostatic.
no, well, every time you puncture that seal, you're letting, who knows what in. So even under extremely sterile circumstances, stuff's getting in. Skin's dirty.
Josh is a nurse and he agrees with you. I don't know. I don't like I'm sure, Roman, you've been around the block. I had an abscess on my leg from a water-based shot. It was from L-carnitine that I had to have fucking cut open and packed and drained every day for 2 weeks, and that sucked. Having a hole in my quad during contest prep.
Those abscess hole, that stuff's nasty. Pull like 9 feet of cotton 9 feet of gauze out of the hole and then go get it replaced.
Yeah, it's not a fun experience. I don't want to go through it again. It was and they can't numb you up when they cut it open because there's nothing to numb up because of the abscess. So yeah, you just kind of got to eat it. They go in and just cut that fucking thing open. It was like mayonnaise coming out of it, brown mayonnaise. It's cool as shit. I was laughing because when I went in, the doctor's like, she's like, this is so cool, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Whenever I see those abscess videos, I always think of Synthol, and then when you see how much fluid comes out, and then what, like you see, maybe their shoulder's swollen, but it's not like it's swollen, but not like some of the Synthol people, and then like 9 gallons of fluid comes out, and so then I'm always like, Jesus Christ, how much oil is in those Synthol guys if they're that large and that much oil is coming out of that little swelling?
Oh man. All right, what do we got next?
Let's get this one from Gamboni Law. I'm trying to get down from 10 to 12% sorry. Nope, 12 to 13% body fat to sub 10. Should I go leaner on protein sources, pull out the yolks rather than lowering the carbs? I've noticed better results keeping carbs and lowering fats.
Well, I owe Al. He helped save my YouTube channel. He wrote my appeal letter for me.
Nice.
He's a show VIP for life.
Show VIP for life. I don't know. I mean, I like yanking the fats down. I mean, I guess you pick your poison. Fat and carbs are both energy at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, like you said, you're getting better results. That's what kind of got to drive it. At the end of the day, we're all bound by a metabolism. We have to eat less calories than that. And we have 3 macros to do it in. And you don't really have that much room to adjust protein. You know, there's only so low and so high you're going to go with it. So it's really just, it all kind of boils down to whether you lower carbs or fats or in what proportion of each, and then what you respond better to. Some people feel better with higher fats. Some people, when you keep the fats high and carbs low, they use glycolysis really heavily in training, and they just feel, you know, they get burned out too quickly. Some people do better on higher carbs and they don't mind the lower fats. And so you kind of, you know, we're all bound by our metabolism and the fact that there's a certain amount of protein we probably kind of need to get in each day. And then the carbs and fats are really personal around that. Try 1,400 grams of carbs.
It works for Roman.
He's shredded.
I think it was Colin who once said, "You are not Roman," to someone trying to, you know, emulate Roman. All right. From Sex Smoothie, have you guys seen some clients benefit from lowering GH? Talking about coming down from 10 to 15 IUs to 4 to 6 to keep waist and insulin sensitivity in check.
I mean, you're going to lose water.
Yeah, what's the benefit? I mean, if the benefit is insulin sensitivity and less water around your torso, then yeah, that lowering GH will do that. You know, it's kind of like, what's the benefit we're looking for?
I mean, the blown out waist on the GH thing, I think, is just a big fucking myth.
Yeah,
I agree
100%.
because if it was a thing, my waist would be tremendous.
Yeah, I think it's poor gut motility and over time, and not necessarily backed up fecal matter, but you have inflammation and backed up, and you know, because what happens late in prep, carbs are low, protein's really high, fiber's low. You know, people tend to get more constipated. Orals are high, they get constipated, and you do that several months a year, year after year after year, and the food volume we're eating, you got all that inflammation, all that localized water, all that, you know, constipated material. And just over time, that just, I think it leads to kind of, it's, you know, not like the shit that making you have a big gut, but there's just so much swelling and inflammation and water and stuff in the area chronically that it causes it.
And what I've noticed, sorry.
Oh, go ahead, Roman.
What I've noticed with many people, they just, it might sound funny, but so many people have a problem with binge eating. Trust me, I have seen professionals, like really good bodybuilders, and they cannot stop eating. It also, before shows, when they're dieting, or in the off season, even more, they have to stuff themselves until they cannot get up anymore, like a couple times a week. There's so many what's the word, eating disorders in our sport. It's incredible. I'm not saying that I'm normal, right? But
none of us are normal.
Yeah, but there's so many people, like, I don't know what they're trying to do, like compensate emotions, or they just they stuff themselves with food and then they blow out their guts.
Well, there's almost like a cheat meal culture too that I've always hated, because I utilize cheat meals, but people immediately feel like it you know, you're dieting, hard cardio, low carbs, low calorie dieting. Oh, I got a cheat meal. Now this next meal is an absolute eating contest. My only goal in life is to eat as much, you know, and it's like, no, that's not the point. You know, we're still dieting. That's just like a global culture, because, you know, people will post about their cheat meal and it's a contest. And if you ever try to go eat sushi with a group of bodybuilders, it's almost not even enjoyable because no one's enjoying the sushi. Everyone's just seeing who can eat the most to prove that they can eat the most. Like it's the cheap, things like cheat meals have a purpose. They satisfy cravings. There's some mental relief, a calorie influx. But if you default every time to it's a cheat meal, I need to see if I can get 15,000 calories down without puking or dying. That's not the point of the cheat meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
always
where-
tell my nutrition clients, you are not a dog. Like food is not a reward.
For
yeah.
example,
I like that.
I know one German professional right now. He's very good. And sometimes his coach slips me information, And this guy, I'm not going to tell you who it is, the day before a show, because he freaks out, I don't know why, eats a whole display case of protein bars.
Oh,
Oh,
Just randomly.
he can't poop for days.
The whole, I don't know, 24 or 36 bars, whatever is in a display thing, that they put out in gyms.
Yeah.
He just, and the thing is, he's in fucking Italy or Spain or something. That means he had to bring it,
Oh my.
It was like,
So he was
Yeah.
already planning on eating that after the show, probably. Yeah. But he couldn't hold it anymore. So he ate it the night before.
Oh man, and that's like depending on what brand it is, like with the sugar alcohols and the low quality, it's like the worst thing you could eat. I'd rather a guy just eat a couple pizzas at that point.
Yeah.
seriously. Yeah.
What wasn't the story? Wasn't that the story with Rami that that Olympia that he looked bad, that he hammered a whole pizza or something? I heard.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that was. I heard that they had to keep Dennis James on top of him to keep him on diet.
Yeah.
Smack
Or-
the pizza out of his hand.
Jean-Pierre Fuchs, he even said it on a podcast himself.
It was
He
on my
said-
podcast.
Yeah, exactly. He said
It was.
that before the, I think, 97 Olympia or 90, something like that.
He at the buffet in Vegas.
Yeah.
No. He lives in Switzerland. So there's the Mövenpick Hotel. And they have a breakfast buffet. And he went there 3 to 4 times a week, every morning,
Yeah,
The
he
whole
said
prep.
that.
the whole prep. And ate until he almost blew his guts out. And then he rode his bicycle at home for 6 to 8 hours a day to compensate for the food he ate. And that's,
One thing that you can glean from that, though, 6 to 8 hours of cardio a day. So all my 165-pound clients who are sure that cardio is going to make them lose all their muscle, go look at pics of what Jean-Pierre Fuchs looked like doing 6 to 8 hours of cardio a day.
I guess when you're hammering the buffet, it counterbalances it.
Yeah.
I will say this. I won't say who on the podcast just for sake of saving them embarrassment. But when I was at the Tampa Pro 2 days out, I saw one of the open guys at the buffet. And he had 2 plates. He had one full of pancakes and waffles and another one full of bacon and eggs, and he was pouring syrup on both.
wow.
oh, and his midsection looked kind of washed out.
Yeah, it looked kind of washed out on stage.
All right.
It wasn't the GH.
It wasn't the GH. I will say that he was eating very. I was like, well, is this guy doing the show? I'm like, maybe he pulled out. I don't know, but I guess it worked out for him.
It's a weird
I have-
sport. How it's so common to grind and be on point and work your ass off for 3-4 months leading into a contest, and to do that, and then how often people just completely lose it and blow it in the final 36 hours is really crazy because it's just so common.
What did Chris Aceto said? He said he's seen more people talk themselves out of wins than
Yeah.
actually win shows.
Mhm.
Just by doing stupid stuff. Yeah, Goodman said this was 1999. He said he was depressed that year and did binges. I have the interview up with him. I did a couple years. I need to get him on again sometime. That was one of the best interviews I've ever
Yeah,
done.
he's
He had some
interesting. Yeah, he's got some cool
he had some
stories.
great stories. It's funny because he doesn't like bodybuilding at all anymore. He just
Yeah.
He just
So Justin Compton and we did the 2016 Hong Kong Arnold Classic, and we just spent the whole week together, the 5 days before the show. So I start carving up, and he starts carving up, and he's like a little bit of cream of rice with measures out his salt, measures out his water, and I'm lying on his bed in his room with an apple pie on my stomach, freaking chips over here, gummy bears over here, eating. And he's like, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. Why is your I don't know where you pack it. Your stomach is flat. Like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I can't do anything about that.
Yeah, I'm trying to explain my metabolism. I just enjoy it.
And that you reminded me of that, Paul, because I also did the breakfast buffet in the morning.
well, I guess it worked for you.
All right, ready for another one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is from Eggplant Permission, new bikini competitor struggling with SIBO. Thank you for sharing your journey, because I've talked a lot about my SIBO on my channel. Dysbiosis has put a serious wrench in my goals. Do you have any encouragement? Thank you so much. Primarily, I would say two things: patience and perseverance, because treating SIBO can be a very long process. I mean, when I started my protocol, I knew very well going into it that it was going to be at least 9 months of taking supplements every single day, at least 60 to 90 days probably of a die-off period, and then the next 6 to 9 months of maintenance. Because if you do not follow through on your maintenance period, your rates of relapse are more than 40%. I mean, it's outrageous. Even with antibiotic use, like long-term antibiotic use, people still have relapse that's extremely high because they don't address the motility issue. And I think that's the biggest thing that happens with any type of, dysbiosis just means that there's an off balance of bacteria, but making sure that you keep your migrating motor complex functioning extremely well after your initial die-off phase to continue pushing things through your intestines and not having slow motility. And this is where I would be very cautious about the use of anything that slowed down your motility, like GLP-1s or anything like that was going to slow motility. And also not going crazy with probiotics. I would cut those out. I don't use probiotics on a daily basis. But more than anything, I think not over restricting is the other thing. People tend to want to just cut everything out of their diet because they'll feel better for a little bit of time. But then the time it takes to reintroduce things takes so long, and it can then cause relapse. And, keeping your diet consistent, but not overly restrictive, like keeping a good variety in, and just being ready to really stay the course. You guys have any thoughts on SIBO?
No, I was pretty much perfect, honestly.
No, that was
It's not
perfect. I
fun.
had it really bad after being on antibiotics for 2 years for my chronic Lyme infection. My stomach was so fucked up. It took years to get straight, and I had relapses of it.
Yeah, it's a long process. But stay the course. You'll be fine, Eggplant. Get on stage. You'll be good. All right. This one this is a two-parter. Well, it's just a short two-parter from Devin TK. Just had an DEXA scan at 7.8% after cutting for 12 weeks, ready for a bulk. How do I tell my coach I'm done cutting and want to put on size? I've been on a cruise for 4 weeks, but still cutting. And he said, just worried I'll come across as a pussy calling the cut before him.
Just say you're ready to shift gears. You drive. The coach works for you.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, if you were my client as a coach, I would say, you're in charge of your goals, and we'll do what you want to do. But then I would also say, Dex is great, but going by your picks, I would argue that if we could get a little bit leaner, we're really getting into that exponential curve point where the leaner you get, the better our off-season growth is going to be, and each new bit of body fat from here is that much better for progress. And if we still reach a point where you're just over it, then you're over it. You're in charge of your goals.
And as my father would say, don't be a pussy. That was my dad's answer for every problem I had growing up.
Oh man, my whole childhood was between father and friends. My whole childhood was guided by hoping that no one called me a pussy. Every dumb decision I made.
That video just got demonetized. I think they took that off the forbidden word list. We can say it now.
Talking about cats. Dave's got cats, right?
Don't be a kitty cat.
Yeah.
All right. This one is from Sean C. Paul, I know you're big on real food. I'm 6'6", 265, type 2 diabetic, had stomach stapled 10 years ago. I don't want to stretch it. Can I rely on whey protein for maybe 175 grams of my protein intake? I'm assuming that's probably what, like 3/4 of his protein for the day?
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, I mean, especially with stomach stapling, depending on the whey. I mean, if you get a high quality whey isolate, but if you're chugging like dime store whey concentrate, that's the bloating and stuff is probably going to be worse for your stomach than
Worse,
than- yeah. I mean, really, if you want your most calorie dense as far as spatial volume for protein, you're probably going to want to do like blended meat protein, which sounds disgusting, but everyone eats chicken noodle soup and loves it, and that's really essentially what like a chicken shake is. You know, you add some salt and some little bit of water with some chicken. You know, it's one of those things that there's two phases to it. There's that's so disgusting I'll never do it, and then the phase where you finally decide to try it, and then when you get to that phase, you realize, hey, I'm just drinking chicken noodle soup. This is actually good, and you don't even have to always be chicken. But that's really probably, you know, because you can get 50 grams of protein down into basically, you know, a couple shot glasses worth of sludge. I mean, depends on where you're at mentally, I guess.
Yeah, just think of it like pate, right?
Yeah,
This is bougie. This is really
Yeah, there
bougie
you go,
protein.
yeah. Give it a fancy name and people will do it. Yeah.
Uh-huh, exactly.
If you're worried about digestion, I have never seen any situation where whey powder makes it better.
Yeah.
Especially not that
Especially
much. My goodness.
concentrate.
Yeah, you talk about bloat, fart, diarrhea. That's the path you're heading. God, I remember back in the day. When I was working with Dante, I was doing like fucking 200-300 grams of carb or protein from protein powder a day, and my stomach was so fucked up.
I can still like taste the protein powder burps, or like there's like a feel in my mouth I'd get after too much of those. I don't miss the protein powder days.
I have reintroduced some clear protein, and that seems to tolerate well. I thank Dante. He sent me a whole bunch of protein. He sent me samples of like everything they had to try to find something that worked for me. And the only thing like I can use is like the super ultra filtered stuff that tastes the worst. That's the stuff that works for me.
I'm not a huge protein powder fan. I'm not against them. I just think that the protein powders that are worth taking are like the ultra high filtered, and they're just expensive. And so for me, the reason for taking protein powder was that meat was so expensive. But if the protein powder is just as expensive, at that point, I'm gonna lean towards meat.
You know what bothers me with the question?
Don't know what his goals are?
No, it sounds like the guy hasn't even tried. I mean, he's like, if I were him, I would eat as many real meals as possible until I feel like my stomach gets distended, and then take a step back from there. And that might be 5 whole meals to 4 whole meals, or 4 whole meals to 3 whole meals. So if you can take 4 whole meals and then have to do 2 shakes, that's fine. If it's 3 to 3, then that's fine. But he's asking the question before he has even tried experimenting. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's I don't know. I just feel like real food wins every time.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
course.
think there's any case where real food isn't the best. I mean, any case where there's no, he does have external stuff going on that he has to worry about. But aside from the external variables that can come into play, at base value, whole food is always better.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
Just go with easier to digest proteins. Like try whitefish.
Yeah,
Whitefish goes down real easy.
You
Chicken
can do
breast
blended
usually
whitefish.
If you're a crazy person.
I think that's like a fish stew, a real bougie fish stew. We got to think of a name for that one, Justin, so you can get people to drink their fish.
Yeah.
And then one more thing, if he chooses to blend his food, because I've done that mistake, do not blend it with a bunch of water and then the blender on maximum power, because that will turn a little chicken breast into like a 20 ounce milkshake with a bunch of air in it. You know what I mean? And then you're actually ingesting more volume than you were originally with the little chicken breast. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're almost just trying to mechanically break it down prior to.
Yeah, you kind of really want. Ideally, it would be no water. It would be just blended chicken, but that's not going to work. So you need something. Yeah.
You put it through a food mill. You could do that with no water.
Yeah, you want to make it like baby food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put it through a food mill. Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
And that's like you're making pate. Throw some organ meats in there, then you're really getting some good nutrition.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Carnival, go Liver King style.
That's right.
We want to get one more in, squeeze one more in before we roll.
Sure. And there were a bunch of other really good ones. I think let's do this one from Cody. Wondering if on a higher or low carb day, you're changing the way you train with intent, like if the intensity changes. Not when you're on prep. Doesn't matter if it's a high day or low day, you're still hitting it as hard as you can.
No, because I don't want to waste the workout.
Exactly. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, training doesn't
Suck
change.
it up. Nope.
I do like to put my when prep. I think you told me this, or maybe I came up with this on my own. I don't remember, Justin, but I do like to have my high carb day on the highest energy output day. Like, so usually like training
gives you the most wiggle room. Yeah. I mean, you're throwing a ton of carbs and calories in it on a body that you're trying to be hypocaloric, so, you're trying to overshoot with too many calories, but from carbs. So it gets stored as glycogen because you're depleted, but you're never going to get it perfect. And so if you do it on a day where you're burning a lot of calories, it just kind of gives you more buffer to have the high carbs, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but that is confusing to people. Why would I have the high day on the day I'm training? Don't I want it the day before so I can train harder? And the thing with that is that's the big difference between like powerlifting and bodybuilding. Because if you're in bodybuilding, you're trying to maximize the results from the workout. So you do want the high carb day around the workout. Whether or not it gives you a better workout, the results and progress from that workout are going to be improved from what you eat after. Now, if you're a power lifter and the whole point of the gym is your performance in the gym, whether or not it results in any hypertrophy doesn't matter, then I recommend the high day like before to fuel it. But that's not optimal for body composition in my experience.
I agree. But still, on the low carb day, I wouldn't train less hard just because it's a low carb day.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's just
you're training on the glycogen from the high day still. I mean, really, if you've done it correctly, that high day restores your glycogen levels, and that's what you're using for fuel on the low day.
I actually will do extra cardio on the low day just to get some more fat burning in sometimes. Yep. All right. I think that's it, folks. That's all we got for you today. That's enough questions. This was a good one. I appreciate you all participating and helping me save my channel. A lot of positive support on social media.
Thanks for the lawyer dude. Thanks.
Yeah,
man.
One more thing before we sign off.
Yep.
Dave, he's on this corner of it. Dave has offered to send me food as well, but I didn't take him up on it because I was already getting food from Amy, so I didn't want to
And whenever you're ready,
you got to stagger the treats.
Say the same thing. Dave, thanks for offering to feed me. I'll send my address after this, and you can ship it all over to me.
All the Wagyu to Justin.
We got to get.
I don't think we
can this hot sauce up to Roman. That's the goal.
I don't think we can ship Wagyu to Germany.
No,
I'm gonna have to eat it. Damn it.
Well, when you're ready, Roman, just get a hold of me, buddy.
All right, folks. We appreciate each and every one of you. Take care. We will see you guys next week.